Brandon. I'm very sorry I didn't get this critique back to you sooner. I've had migraine headaches last week and not able to look at screens at all. So again, I apologize. But yeah, to get into it, I like the what you did here with this kind of the pink colored background, and it isolates your subject, isolates Michelle, and her pose is nice. It's a little bit maybe forced. It's a little bit, I mean, it's nice as far as like the movement is nice and everything else, and the way that aesthetically it's nice, but it is a little bit forced and it is kind of obvious, like stand here and do this, and that's okay. Sometimes that works fine. Um, but I saw a couple other your photos are a little bit less staged. They seem a little bit more natural. But yeah, the lighting on this is great. So keep an eye out for that as you move forward. Just like good lighting situations, and your background is great too. Okay, so this, I don't know what I feel about the light. It gets a little bit harsh here. I kind of like to see without just like this nice even light everywhere. Um, yeah, I don't know. It does read much different than the other ones. It is more, obviously seems like you're in a relationship with this person, whether or not that's accurate. It's hard to say, but or not. I could infer it anyway. That's what the photographs are kind of telling me. Um, but yeah, I would watch out for these kind of things. Sometimes they work well. Sometimes it's a little bit bright and hot. And this time it's a little bit too hot, I think. This is nice. I mean, it's an intimate moment. I do think that the lighting is a little bit soft. I'm not sure what kind of camera you're using. If you're able to get something a little bit better indoors, it just looks a little bit like noisy. Starting to see kind of like the how the this color's popping up. That's the digital noise from being a little bit low light and your sensor not being able to handle it quite right. Um, but it's a nice photograph of Michelle and her cat, or a cat anyway, that she seems to love very much, and the cat seems to be tolerating it. This is okay. It's almost, yeah, it seems like you guys are in the moment and out about hiking and that kind of thing. The light seems it's okay. It seems a little bit blue here. I don't know why. It might just be something wrong with my monitor a little bit, but overall it's okay. This one I really do like a lot. I find it kind of like surprising as far as her eyes are so intense, and surprising in the way that it's not a photograph that was meant to be set up. You weren't go stand in front of this and look a certain way. This seems very much natural and look up right now, and a lot more organic. And those kind of things I respond to a lot more rather than a posed portrait. And I really like the quality of light is great. The fact that her hair isn't perfect is like better. Again, it's that organic, real moment that translates to something better or something more powerful than a typical stage photograph. Kind of like this, they read much differently. I mean, this is fun and it's nice, and that you guys are having a good day, but this is more intense and more powerful just with her eyes. Yeah, it works stronger for me. But this is still okay. I mean, but I would push you more in the direction of that previous photograph. This is really beautiful light too. You can tell you're just by a window. Thing to kind of keep in mind is watch out for like cables like this. If you do have any kind of photo editing software, you can get rid of it. You can remove it pretty easily in Lightroom or Photoshop. But yeah, the quality of light is really great. Yeah, the pose is nice. Everything is nice, but I still do respond more to the a little bit more natural photographs. This one too, same kind of thing. Keep in mind your background here. These lights can kind of be a little distracting from her as being the brightest thing in the photograph, and then this kind of light raking across looks like it's caused by this here, by this light. So keep that in mind. But yeah, over that, it's okay. Again, I like the organic one better, but it's a nice photograph. It's a beautiful photograph. It's powerful. Red lipstick is powerful. Um, so I'd want to kind of like soften this light so that those features kind of pop out a little bit more, and including the hat too. Yeah, it's kind of similar to the other one. I do like this one a bit more. Looks like you guys are on a train or something like that, headed somewhere. So I started to think of, where are you going? What's going on? Going somewhere nice, dressed kind of nicely. You got flowers. So I started to put a story together. especially when I see that other one that's from the same spot. Um, but yeah, again, I like the organic ones a bit more. I like the inclusion of the tattoo is really awesome, and this is a great composition with the head being kind of cropped off and just her right eye popping out here. It's a really beautiful composition. I would maybe like to see it less washed out. I don't know if you're using a filter or anything like that. A little bit less washed out, more natural colors would be awesome. Yeah, okay. So I think this is kind of like the most natural, most powerful one that you have, and I would aim to kind of like keep those qualities in mind as you move forward. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me.